Hey, good morning, everybody. Thought we would go ahead and just do a little live stream this morning. We have our DJ Steve Stevens on vacation today, so thought that would give us a little bit of time. We could get together, we can take a look at the bus stop forecast, the weekend forecast, and we'll take a look at what next week is shaping up to be. Now, of course, it's still a little ways out, but I know a lot of people are thinking about their travel plans for the Thanksgiving holiday coming up next week. So if you're in the stream, make sure you throw something up there in our chatter box. Let me know you're on here. We'll kind of get going. Got my best friend today, my 32 ounce of very strong coffee this morning, as I've been down here for the last couple hours analyzing all of the data and looking at all the models. And we've got quite a bit of exciting weather coming up here over the next couple weeks. Hey, good morning, Lucky. Hi, Emily. Good to see you guys this morning. So what you're looking at here on the screen, this is infrared satellite image. And of course, up here in the northwest, you see what is a bomb cyclone. It is a low pressure system that went through bomb genesis, in which it had lowered its internal millibar, its internal pressure, very, very quickly over 24 hours yesterday. And this is a bomb cyclone, and it is ushering in an atmospheric river, which is basically just a river of moisture into the West Coast. And California is just getting absolutely drenched. We've got Washington and Oregon. They are having some record snows up in that area. There's already been, unfortunately, some confirmed deaths up there. We had 80 to 90 mile per hour winds and several inches of snow happening up here in Washington and Oregon. Just absolutely horrible conditions up there in the Pacific Northwest. And of course, this over here over Michigan, Pennsylvania, New York, that is what's left over of the low pressure system that ushered in colder temperatures to us here in West Central Missouri, and it's still doing so. As you can see, as this thing spins counterclockwise, it's pushing this northwest flow right over into the state of Missouri, bringing these cold temperatures this morning. So let's take a look at first off the bus stop forecast as you head out the door this morning. Of course, we're going to be looking at temperatures right around 28 degrees. It is frosty out there this morning, so make sure you take your ice scraper out to get the windshield cleared off and get your car started out ahead of time, get it nice and warm. This afternoon, still plenty of sunshine, but we're just not heating up very much. 49 degrees is going to be the high temperature for today. The good news is that at least the winds are going to start to lay down today. We've had kind of windy conditions over the last few days, so the wind chill factor is going to be basically non-existent today. So 49 degrees for your high temperature. Now for the weekend, let's take a look at the weekend forecast, which is going to be a fabulous weekend if anybody has any plans. So the weekend right now, of course, today may be getting up to 50 degrees, and of course, no rainfall. We're going to have an overnight low of 28 degrees tonight. We're going for a high close to 60 tomorrow, so we're rebounding nicely tomorrow, and with the low tomorrow night of 45 degrees under mostly sunny skies. And then on Sunday, beautiful. We have a nice warm up on Sunday, 67 degrees. Of course, under partly sunny skies, low of 42 on Sunday night. And then things begin to change as we head into next week. Now, if you didn't catch those forecast visuals, I will be posting them on our social media platforms here later on this morning. But that gives you an idea of what we've got here in the short term. And then as we head into next week, and I know it's a big week, we've got a lot of people traveling. We got the Thanksgiving holiday that's coming up on Thursday. There is a storm system that I have been watching now for several days, remaining pretty consistent of having some effect here in west central Missouri. Now, I just now seen some of the local forecast, National Weather Service. I've only seen one, I guess, the local news stations that now just starting to mention it. But it's something we need to keep a pretty close eye on. And what we'll do, let me just tell you what we've got going on. So, my favorite map, the 500 millibar chart map, 18,000 feet above our head, shows us where these storm systems are likely heading. So, of course, we're in that northwest flow today. Very cold temperatures here in the Midwest. Pretty dry. The snows remained up into Minnesota, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania got hit hard last night, Ohio and the Ohio Valley. That's where the track of the snow stayed. If you recall, we were maybe thinking we could get some flurries here today and yesterday, but unfortunately, for those snow lovers, all of that went to our north, kind of as expected. But nonetheless, we got stuck with some very cold temperatures here over the last couple mornings. Now, this weekend, we're going to be underneath this ridge. Now, there's going to be a high pressure system right here over Oklahoma. Nice ridge. Whenever you get a high pressure, that means sinking air. That means you can't have any clouds forming, no rain, no precipitation, sinking air. Okay, so that's the reason why we're having such great temperatures, nice weather this weekend. And then we set our sights on our storm system that's going to be affecting us next week. And there's going to be several small systems that's going to be plaguing us all the way through the first week and a half of December. So this is why I'm kind of preaching everybody. If you have travel plans, if you have any plans here over the next, say, 2 weeks, you need to be keeping up with the forecast and the update because they will likely change because these are small disturbances. This time of year can produce enough precipitation or enough wintry precipitation to create some havoc out there on the roadways. So want to make sure everybody stays weather aware as we go in for the next couple weeks because it's going to be fairly active. So as we go into the holiday week, so on Tuesday, there's going to be a chance that we could see the possibility of maybe some flurries. Really, it's going to be non-impactful weather on Tuesday for us. But on Wednesday is my first concern. And that's when we have this little dip right here. And notice the upper level winds are going to be down here to our southeast. Whenever you get a little system in here, you always kind of look at the northwest side of a little low pressure system for any precipitation or wraparound precipitation, wraparound snow. And that is what I think it could play a part on Wednesday and Thursday here in west central Missouri. So we definitely need to be keeping a very close eye on that. If you are traveling on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, need to be keeping weather aware on what we've got going on as far as weather-wise if you're traveling. Okay, and then we have 2 or 3 of these disturbances come through the weekend after Thanksgiving. And then we kind of focus on our next big system. Next one comes in on the 1st of December, and there's going to be a low pressure system similar to the one we're going in right now, where depending on the track of that low pressure system, right now that low is going to be up north in Michigan into the Great Lakes and southern Canada. Depending exactly where that is, we could get some winter precipitation on the 1st, as well as another cold shot of air. However, even if we don't get any snow, we're going to get that cold temperatures. They will be in place for the next big system that is set to come through the area right around the 4th through the 10th of December. So we have one nice system right here coming through our area on the 6th. And then we'll have the 8th. This is now that low pressure system, instead of being up in Canada, now it's down into the Illinois, Indiana, further south, putting west central Missouri in that band for potential of snow. So lots of stuff going on here all the way through the 9th of December. So lots to look at, lots to analyze. Good morning, Sally. Yeah, Lucky. Yeah, Chicago. They did. They had winter weather advisories, winter storm watches out for just north of Chicago, along the Great Lakes. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you are glad you moved. I know you don't want to hear anything about snow here in west central Missouri, but I do feel like that through the 8th, 9th of December, we have a legitimate chance to see some winter precipitation here in west central Missouri, some cooler temperatures. And if you recall back even a month and a half, 2 months ago, we were looking at our first potential date for measurable precipitation with the LRC and the Global Predictor. And it was consistent, showing December 1st as our first significant chance to see measurable winter precipitation here in west central Missouri. So, we're still analyzing the LRC. It is still within that first cycle. Remember, it started back on October 6th. And I would say it ought to be ending fairly soon. So, and again, it could be any stretch of days. It could be 30 days. It could be 42 days. Last year, if I remember, I think it was 44 days last year in between the cycles. And it could go as far out as 55 days or 58 days for that matter. So, but it should be ending pretty quick. Gary Lezak is going to be sending an update to me on what the LRC is showing here later on today. So I'll have kind of a better grasp of what the LRC is showing and get it all updated so that by the time the 7th, 8th, 9th of December, right in that time frame, we'll have our winter forecast for west central Missouri according to the LRC. So I'm excited to see what it is going to show, because so far over the last 4 weeks, it has been extremely active here in west central Missouri. Hi, Emily. do we know yet if this is still part of the newest LRC that's forming? As far as I know, the first cycle has not ended. So I'm starting to see some similarities to what we had, back in. We're talking 18,000 feet above our heads too. So maybe not with our precipitation here on the surface, but I'm starting to see some similarities show up at the 18,000 feet mark. So I think we are starting to wrap up this first cycle of the LRC. And once it ends, remember October 6th through right around my birthday, right around the 16th. So about the first 10 days of the cycle was really dry. And then we start hitting the storm system after storm system after storm system. So I'm going to say that probably we're just in a matter of just a few days before the first cycle of the LRC has ended, and we would be in cycle number 2 of the new LRC. And once that happens, very simply, luckily we have a computer to do it for us, but we could take a calendar and we could go out, say the cycle is 41 days, and we can go out every 41 days. That's the start of cycle 2. 41 days out, cycle 3. 41 days out, cycle 4. And if you take a look at what day of the cycle was last cycle, then you can take a look at what the weather forecast was, what the upper level air maps were like that day, and you can do long range forecasting for the next 11 months. So it's just incredible. It is just incredible. So anxious to see what that is going to transpire here over the next couple weeks, as we will once we get all that data and information together, then we're able to come up with what our winter forecast here in West Central Missouri looks like. Now, there's a ton of winter forecasts out there already. I did a blog on the Old Farmer's Almanac. It showed a white Christmas for us. The new Farmer's Almanac showed cold but dry. And if you check out Subby'sWeatherTalk.com, under video weather news, I have about 5 or 6 different entities that showed their winter forecast already. So, and this is just based on being a transition into a La Nina year, and what the Arctic oscillation, Pacific oscillation, how all those come together. They're coming up with their own winter forecast. But based on the LRC and this recurring cycle, we are one of the last ones to forecast the winter forecast. But it comes out toward it's still before winter, but it's one of the last ones to come out. However, we also come out with our spring forecast for severe weather, our tropical forecast for hurricanes, all at the same time. So you won't see a projection of severe storms or tropical systems like hurricanes for the next 4 or 5 months from these guys. So we have to see how that LRC sets up, what the cycle is, and then we can go out the next 11 months. So very excited. Hey, Mama. Good morning. And again, if you guys are normally tuning in this morning at 7 o'clock for the Steve Stevens Show, he is on vacation today, so you will not hear him streaming on 95.3 streaming platforms this morning. So I thought this was a good opportunity for me to jump on here. We'll do a little live segment, maybe answer any questions. We're going through some of the short-term forecasts, as well as some travel impacts going into Thanksgiving holiday week. So let's jump over here real quick. So we see what it's doing at 18,000 feet through Thanksgiving. Now let's take a look at Now let's take a look at what this particular model is showing for precipitation type and who it's suggesting is going to get that precipitation. So we'll put this into motion. There's Saturday and Sunday. Of course, we got a beautiful weekend coming up. And on Monday and Tuesday, maybe some isolated showers out there ahead of this next disturbance. And notice on Monday into Tuesday, there is a potential to see some snow flurries, maybe some light snow up here in northwest Missouri, northern Missouri. Likely going to be staying up here into the Iowa and Minnesota, into the Wisconsin area. And then we go into Wednesday and Thursday. Now this is a setup. If you notice, this is Wednesday and Thursday. And notice there's a pretty good moderate band of snow that sets up right along the I-70 corridor. Now, if you notice, the 540 line is still, remember the 540 line, the dashed lines right here. Okay, the 540 line is this solid purple line right here. That's the differences between 32 degrees below and 32 degrees above. Okay, so it's setting up real close. Now, you have to take this with a grain of salt because that 540 line, that freezing line, is so close to us. We're going to have colder air in place in order for the potential of any snow to happen. And right now it's showing that that system on Monday and Tuesday is going to usher in enough cold air where we would likely have that in place. So this is the reason why we need to keep a very close eye, especially if you're traveling next week. And again, this is Wednesday and Thursday is showing some light snow from Kansas City all the way down through Springfield and Joplin area. So this, and again, these are models, guys. This is data that has been inputted. This shows what could happen, not what will happen. Okay, and historically, the GFS model, that's the one that we are on right now, typically doesn't handle winter systems very well. It just, because it broadcasts out way out in advance, unlike the other models, that's the reason why we're using it, since it's still a week away. So, but it is definitely something worth watching, especially if you have travel plans. And then we go on past Thanksgiving weekend. We'll have some colder air moving in at the end of the weekend. Notice there's that 540 line right here, that purple line right here. And here we come up December 3rd. We have some more potential chances to see some rain, maybe some wintry precip with it. And then we go into December 6th, 7th, and 8th. Now, the reason why I put this here is because on the other models that I looked at this morning, it's showing this area of snow right over west central Missouri on December 6th. So we have a lot of things that we have to be deciphering here over the next couple weeks. But anyway, that's kind of a look out on this particular model. Just enough for you snow lovers, maybe to give a little spring in your step today. Although you cannot take this to the bank because we are looking strictly at models that show us what could happen, not what will happen. Good morning from Springfield. Good morning. And again, you guys might have the potential to see maybe some snow flurries coming in over the Thanksgiving holiday as well. So Springfield right there. Looks like that is on Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, that's Thursday morning. All the way from Kansas City, all the way down through Joplin and Springfield. Good morning, Andrea. So, something we're going to be keeping a close eye on here at the Weather Center here over the next couple weeks. But for the short term, again, just want to, if you guys are getting ready to head out the door today, just remember we've got frosty conditions, 28 degrees, calm winds this morning, 49 for the high. So it's going to be a great day. The winds are going to be very, very light today. And then for your weekend, we've got tomorrow on Saturday, 59 degrees, plenty of sunshine, low of 45 Saturday night. And then on Sunday, beautiful day on Sunday, 67 degrees, plenty of sunshine with a low of 42 on Sunday night. And what you're looking at here on the screen right now, this is the bomb cyclone up here in the Pacific Northwest, ushering in an atmospheric river into the coast of California, Oregon, Washington, where unfortunately there's already been some confirmed deaths as winds 80, 90 miles per hour as well as several inches, if not feet, of snowfall up here in certain elevations in Washington and Oregon. So they definitely need to be in our thoughts and prayers up there in the Pacific Northwest. Hundreds of thousands of people without power. I checked last night, and there was over 30% of people in the state of Washington without power. 30% of an entire state without power. That's pretty incredible. Okay, guys, listen, that's all I've got for today. And again, Steve Stevens is on vacation today, so you will not hear him on our live streams on 95.3 this morning. So, but you got a dose of Subby this morning. So I want to make sure everybody kind of has an idea what the weekend has in store. Probably on Sunday, I will be back in the Weather Center. We'll be taking a look at the data coming in for the start of the work week, and we'll kind of fine tune that forecast as we head into one of the most traveled holidays of the season. And we'll take a look at that forecast for next week a little bit more closely on what we can expect, especially if you guys are out there traveling. We've got, let's see here. So Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, make sure you check out Subby's Ag and Weather Report, in which we kind of give a synopsis of the weather we've had here in West Central Missouri and the crop conditions, as well as a look from the USDA meteorologists, what they have to say about crop conditions here in West Central Missouri. That comes out tomorrow morning at 6:30. Make sure you check that out, as well as all of the visuals I will be posting on all of our social media platforms, the weekend weather, as well as the bus stop forecast. I'm going to put those out on all of our social media platforms here in just a couple minutes. Give a shout out to our two sponsors of SkyTrack Weather, Benware Tractor and Automotive. Great people. They've got their new store opened up here in Clinton, and very excited what 2025 has in store for those guys. Worked with them. They're great friends of mine, and so wish them the best of luck here in the Clinton branch, as well as Gary's Towing. Gary's Towing is also going to be our sponsor for Storm Track school closings this year. So, of course, we want to give a shout out to them. They've been a faithful sponsor here at the Weather Center now for quite some time. So a big shout out to those guys too. And who knows, we might even need to be calling Gary's Towing here around Thanksgiving if we get any of this snow that some of the models are projecting. But it's still a little bit too early to tell. Winter forecasting is the absolute my demise, and it is very, very tough. Now, what you see out there on the media, they'll either choose no snow or a ton of snow, and they'll run with it all the way to the day of. And then a lot of snowfall forecasts get busted because they went one direction or the other. Now, I'm in the middle. Now, I might not give you a snowfall forecast for up until about 24 to 48 hours ahead of time, where these guys have been projecting snow for the last 2 weeks. But it's going to be more unbiased, more of what is likely going to happen, whether that's good news for snow lovers or bad news for snow lovers. And of course, the TSP, PSP, the teacher snow day probability, pastor snow day probability, likely going to have the potential to have a couple of snow day probabilities coming out for next week. But, a little too early to tell. So, you guys, listen, I'm going to go ahead and call that a wrap. If anybody has any questions, comments, feel free, message me in Facebook or shoot me a text. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And again, if you guys are traveling next week, I've already done this for about 10 people. If you guys are going to be traveling next week, if you need kind of a heads up of what you can expect weather-wise, because you're traveling, say, to a different state or across Missouri to St. Louis or something like that, feel free to reach out to me. I mean, that's what I'm here for. And I can give you my best guess according to all the latest data on what you can expect while you're out there traveling. Good morning, Brandon. So just a quick recap. Of course, starting off this morning, frosty, 28 degrees this morning, calm winds. Make sure you have your ice scrapers handy or at least get the car started before you head out this morning. 49 for the daytime high. It's going to be a beautiful day. Calm winds for most of the day. For the weekend, tomorrow, 59 degrees, sunshine, low of 45, and a beautiful day on Sunday, 67 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, low of 42. And I will be putting those visuals on all of our social media platforms. This video in its entirety, the stream will be posted. So in case you missed part of it, want to see what we were talking about over the holiday weekend next week, feel free. It will be posted as well, so you can go and watch the whole stream in its entirety. Good morning, Cassie. So, and again, if anybody has any questions, feel free, reach out to me. It's just going to be me and my best friend, 32 ounce of strong coffee, sitting here at the Weather Center, analyzing all this data for the next few hours. So, guys, have a fantastic Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Stay weather aware. And a big shout out to Jeff. Well, Jeff, good morning. And if you're just tuning in, make sure you go back and watch this stream. It's going to be posted. We talk about this weekend's weather as well as our forecast going into the holiday week. Good morning, Brenda. So appreciate you guys joining this morning. And again, if you guys are trying to stream and try to want to listen to our morning show, our DJ Steve Stevens is on vacation today. I guess we go ahead and let him have a day off every now and then, I guess. But so he will not be streaming this morning. That's one of the big reasons why I thought this would be a great morning to get in with you guys and talk a little bit about the holiday forecast. So make sure you guys go back, rewatch if you miss any of the segments here, and keep yourself informed. And if anybody has any questions, holler at me. Guys, have a great day. Stay weather aware. We'll be talking.